That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
It's stream time, baby. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is a roll of 5K subs. Man, where can I go? So I was just watching the play-in, and I definitely think the NBA kind of needs to follow the WNBA and what they do of get rid of conferences, because the level of competition in the East 7-8 game with the Hawks and the Magic versus the West. Like the West game, it looked like a game 7 in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? And the East has had some decent games and stuff like that in the play-in, but the bottom half of the East has always just kind of traditionally been, for like at least most of my life, it's just kind of been just the lower totem pole of playoff contending teams in the NBA and things of that sort. So I think they need to adopt that. I think a lot of people were complaining about the refs early in favor of Golden State, and I felt like the refs were really in favor of Memphis down late. They kept Memphis in the game. It kept it a competitive game and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's just the way I saw it. But that's that. Let's get to the reasons why you guys are here, what the title says, and things of that sort. So we are going to start off with Miss Kalani Brown, former Atlanta Dream legend, Kalani Brown. And we're going to get into it for sure. So she said some words, man. And this was kind of like just randomly, but at the same time, it wasn't too random, because this was a discussion had for a little while, for just like a little brief moment, skated over about a week ago and things of that sort, when Alexis Morris came on and on Twitter, and she was like, South Carolina and UConn prepare their players for the WNBA. And shout out Kim Mulkey. I love Kim Mulkey. I love her. But like, I would have been prepared for the like she was saying, without saying, Kim Mulkey didn't prepare her for the WNBA. And what she said about UConn in particular, for sure was true, just with UConn's Princeton offense and everything like that. I think there's a reason why UConn players stay kind of longer. They have a little more longevity in the W. And a lot of South Carolina players go to the W. And there people were saying, well, why do South Carolina players always get cut and go from team to team? They're still in the league technically. It's like Avina Westbrook for UConn and Kristen Williams for UConn. Like, they're still in the league. They just jump from team to team, which is better than not being in the league at all, in my opinion. The league is tough, man. Like everybody says, I think expanding rosters should be the next move, as opposed to expanding the league with more teams, because now we're adding Golden State this year, Toronto, I think probably after that, the Toronto Tempo, Portland, and then people are talking about Cleveland. Did Cleveland get approved? It's difficult to keep up with the rumors versus like the official announcements. Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. I zoomed in. But Cleveland, I just don't know what's going on here. Let me see. Cleveland, did they get approved for WNBA? Cleveland WNBA. I know they put in a bid, and there was a story. They are. Oh, they already have their so the Rockets are okay, yeah. So yeah, Cleveland's coming back too. So you got run it back. You got Golden State this year, Toronto Tempo, Portland is coming back, and Cleveland's coming back. So you got 4 teams added on. So now you got a league of 16 teams. However, it's like 12 players each team. You get drafted to you still not going to make the team, because it's only 12 spots on the team. And plus now, when you get injuries and everything like that, now it's oh man, we got to cut this person, sign this person to a 10-day, then cut them and have them work out at a local YMCA until we need them again. And then we got to sign them. And that's too much, bro. I say expand the rosters to 14, 15 players. And that's going to solve a lot more issues that we're seeing right now. Yes, it's gonna be some, you know what I'm saying, some players that were hoopers in college. Always, there's always gonna be snubs, regardless of what you do. It's gonna be snubs on lists, it's gonna be snubs in all-star games, it's gonna be snubs on teams, USAs, and everything like that. It's always gonna be some snubs. However, I think we can cut down on the amount of snubs and amount of absurdity in the snubs with just expanding the rosters. The same way that you know, the league is being expanded, I think the roster should be expanded. So here we go, Kalani Brown. With that being said, and let me say this: Kim Mulkey did, in all caps, prepare me for the league. I was out of the league because of no one but, in all caps again, me. I had to reflect and make sure. I had to reflect and make that choice to quote unquote want it. In all honesty, I needed thicker skin and some mental toughness to be in the W, which is why I thank God, which is why I think God sat with me those 2 years. So stop playing on me and my coach name. Kimberly did what she had to do. I didn't, and I can only speak for myself. You better clock that thesis. I have to stop doing that. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like accountability here. And this was the beginning of it. So that was the end of it. But that was the first tweet I saw from this rant. This was the first one. So tired of the quote unquote Kim doesn't develop players narrative. It's on the player to elevate their game to the next level. And quite frankly, sometimes you don't end up in a system beneficial to your game. So there's a lot more to being in the W than just your college coach not quote unquote developing you. This one is interesting because, like she said that about. I don't know. This is weird. This is kind of a weird statement. No, saying like I'm so tired of hearing Kim doesn't develop her players. It's not on the coach to develop the players. It's up to the players to develop the players. That's kind of confusing. It's like y'all keep saying Kim Mulkey don't develop players. Well, she doesn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's kind of weird. It's a little weird to me, you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, when you look at Del Rosario, ADR, and you look at Jersey Wolfenberger, there was little to no there was like no difference there. If anything, Del Rosario might have declined a little bit coming into college and stuff like that, but that, you know, like you say, could just be her wanting, you know, did she have the mindset for it, everything like that. But then you look at Jersey and it was kind of another thing. All the bigs, since she's been at LSU for the past 5 seasons now, 5 years, all the successful bigs have been like the transfers. I mean, Samaya Smith is homegrown LSU, and then she, you know, hit the transfer portal herself for the money. And Serena Williams' husband and them over there at Virginia Tech. Hey, get paid, young hitter, get paid. But you know, in terms of Angel Reese and Anissa Murrow, those were both established, accomplished bigs in the country when they went in the transfer portal and chose to go to LSU. So, you know, and now Kate Caval, you know, another one from Notre Dame. So we'll see what happens next season with that. But yeah, man, I think it's a fair critique. I honestly think it's a fair critique of just like you kind of let these players down. Like, you know, part of the thing is like when you're recruiting the kid is I'm going to push them to be their best self and I'm going to put them in a position to, you know, go this far in their career. Like that's kind of like the entire point of recruitment, right? Is one of the biggest things of recruitment. Hold on, let me get this right, y'all. My bad, gang. My bad. But yeah, that's like one of the biggest parts of recruitment is telling the kid that you know, you're gonna place them in positions to succeed, and so their individual careers can go pretty far. That's like the entire point. And so to say that, oh, it's on the kid, it's not on the coach. Yes and no, because it's like in anywhere, right? Like, what makes a great coach? Someone who can bring out the best talent out of somebody. No, right? Isn't that the point? So I mean, because it's almost like saying like coaches don't matter after a certain point of like, what? Nah, I wanted this. I got good because I wanted to be good. Not because my coaches told me I need to do my move like this and I need to position myself like this, and that made me more successful, and that made me, my field goal percentage shoot up 20%. No, I don't know, bro. That's just what I'm thinking about. Like, coaches matter, right? And large part of recruitment speeches is like, come here if you want to be developed into the best possible player. What do you want to do? What is your goal? And if a kid says to get to the W, I can't guarantee. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things with you. I watch enough movies with this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things with you. I cannot guarantee that you will go to the WNBA, but I can promise that if you give me 110% in everything that you got every single day, every single workout, every single rep, every single practice, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get the best out of you for this program and for your career, for you to ultimately achieve your goal of getting to the WNBA. So you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you tell me when I'm recruited, don't tell me 2 years later, like Aaliyah Del Rosario, like ADR was what? The 6th ranked player in the country, 5th ranked player in the country, 5-star, McDonald's All American, all these things. Don't tell me you're going to get the best out of me on my mama's couch. And then 2 years later, we ain't made no type of progress. Like, I'm still struggling with the same stuff and still shocked by the same things that I was shocked by as a freshman with the college game and the adjustment to it. So, like, yeah, I do think coaches should matter, right? I also, I'm all for accountability here. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to anything in life, everything always comes back to you. It lands back on you. Whether or not you think you're in the wrong or right, the accountability always lands back on you. I have this thing of, ever since I moved and I see Zion close up, like my entire idea, like I've been kind of radicalized about my perception of Zion Williamson and all the narratives that are thrown on him nationally, seeing him day to day and seeing the reasons why they look how they look, and say, oh, he only played so-and-so games this year. Okay, well, when he came back in January, they held him out on back-to-backs, and he himself said he wanted to play in back-to-backs. He said he felt like he could. In the games that he did play, he played his best basketball. Reportedly came back in the best shape of his career, the lightest weight since he's been in the NBA, reportedly. And it looked like it on the court, like he was dominant and things of that sort. Of course, they lost a few games. They got blown out a couple games that were ugly and just kind of inexcusable. But at the same time, it's like, who was he out there with? It was like Trey Murphy and nobody else. So, and that's respect to CJ McCollum. That's respect to Jose Alvarado. But in terms of what you thought you were going to get coming into the season of DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Missy, what was kind of like a delightful surprise and things of that sort of great draft pick. You just thought you were going to be able to go 6-7 deep of quality NBA talent. And that's not what he was dealing with. So, yeah, of course, some nights they got blown out, but he still got his in those games and still played very well above his competition. I say all of this to say, well, that might be my perspective. And I could say, well, Zion did this, Zion did this, Zion did that. On the outside looking in, you look at that sheet and it says, how many games did Zion Williamson play out of 82? And you say 33. The numbers are the numbers. And, regardless of what the scenario was and what the context is, sometimes you just have to hold yourself accountable, bro, because people aren't going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, you see how Shannon Sharp, and I was just watching It Is What It Is today. Cameron was making jokes about him. Stephen A. Smith was calling him, considering him a bust. And he said, I'm glad that Stephen A. acknowledged, not because of his talent, but because of his lack of availability. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It all comes back to accountability, because regardless of what the context is, regardless of the external factors that might have affected the results, nobody cares. In the words of Donald Glover, Latonia, nobody cares. It's kind of just what it is. So if nobody cares, at the end of the day, coach is hating. They not trying to play me. They not trying to do this. At the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror. What can I do to get on the court? We was interviewing Josh Powell one time a couple years ago, and we were talking about Bol because Bol just got traded to the Pistons. I was like, Bol's one of them. He said, I don't know, bro. I see the toys. I said, nah, bro. Like, you seen him in a bubble where he blocked the shot and he came up, brought the ball, got the rebound off the block, brought the ball up, and then hit a three from the logo, bro. Bo really like that, bro. He said, look, if you can kill, you going to kill. And that's what he just kept saying. He said, kill is kill. Speaking of, take it. I'm just kidding. Not yet. But that just taught me a lesson, bro. That taught me a very, very valuable lesson. In the NBA and the WNBA and the pro ranks, if you really like that, you're going to get your opportunity to show that you're really like that. And if you're not like that, it's not because the coach was hating. It's not because the system wasn't made. It's because of you. And that's much like the real world. You know, if my channel isn't, performing well, if this isn't going on, if something isn't going happening at work for you, at the end of the day, the person that can control it is you. Your manager hating on you, your supervisor hating on you, they trying to stifle you, they nitpicking at your work every single move you make. Guess what? At the end of the day, you can control what you can control. And that's accountability. So shout out to Kalani for pointing out accountability. I'm all for that. And at the same time, on this one, on the initial tweet, I'm a bit confused too, because it's like for college kids, like, isn't the whole point of college kids to go to a place that's going to develop them to get better? Like, I see when I look at certain players throughout college, like their freshman year to their senior years, it's like, okay, they cleaned up this, they cleaned up that. Like when I look at Caitlin Clark from her freshman year at Iowa to senior year, yeah, it's the same player. Flashy passes behind the back, half court shots and things of that sort. But I saw like she changed like little things, subtle things that she used to get better. Like she got stronger. She got in the weight room. I wouldn't say she learned how to dial back her emotions, because she what was she like led the league in technicals last year if it wasn't Diana Taurasi. So like she's still pretty emotional and like can get out of the way and can make sporadic turnovers with her flashy play and kind of playing at such a high pace and things of that sort, where other teammates might not be able to catch it on the same wavelength. But you see little tweaks in players' games from years to years. You don't see it. Flage. Flage said she was kind of doing that on her own, like, you know what I'm saying, waking up 4 a.m. workouts, 5 a.m. workout, all of those things and sort of like that. So yeah. That's what I have to say about that. I think it's a two-way street, bro. Like, yes, it's on the players. At the same time, it's like, what are the coaches for? The coaches, it's particularly in college, bro, because Kim Mulkey's getting paid how much? Hold on. Kim Mulkey contract. We pocket watching tonight. Kim Mulkey signed a 10-year contract, and she's scheduled to make $3.65 million by the end of 2033 to 2032 to 2033. Her previous deal was for $2.5 million per season. So she's making over, nearly $3.5 million a year. You're not making that money for you to be like, it's on you to get better. Like that doesn't even make sense. Like, you're getting paid millions. I'm the kid fresh out of high school. You're the one supposed to teach me. Like, I'm the student, you're the teacher. And you're a very wealthy teacher. $3.5 million. I was like, you're $3.5 million teacher. I don't think it's unfair for me to be like, if I go here, I expect to get better just because I'm learning from the best. Hall of Fame coach, $3.5 million a year coach. If I'm going here, I expect to get better. I don't think that's an unfair thing to ask or to expect as a player, because you're the student. It just, I don't know, just is what it is. At the same time, it's like you get what you put out of it, but coaching should matter when you're getting paid millions. I don't know. These are just the things that I think about. It's kind of like with while I'm so tough on like Shaq or Kenny or any of those guys, even Cam and Mace, because Cam and Mace show, cashed in with the whole underdog fantasy thing. And sometimes their takes just be so off. And I'm like, man, like, y'all guys got to like watch a little more stuff. More particular Mace and Cam. Cam, he be on it. Like, you could tell he works hard and studies his stuff. Sometimes it be still off a little bit, but may sometimes just be left field, bro. And them dudes is getting millions. Like, I think they signed for like, what's that? Three is $1 million. So that's 6, 7. So 8 figures. Yeah, they signed for like 8 figures with Underdog Fantasy. So when it's like, you don't know like basic stuff. Mace opened the show today, example. He opened the show by saying, why was Gino hating on Juju? And he said, what? And he said, why was Gino hating on Juju? Gino, the reason why Juju Watkins ain't get drafted last night. Like, and he was legit, like he was mad serious. And Cameron comes in, well, you know, the NIL money, you know, they make more money to get in college. You guys literally spoke about Juju tearing her AC, like her Achilles or her ACL. I believe it was ACL. Tearing her ACL, said prayers up to Juju. It's tough to watch this, that. Y'all literally say 2-3 weeks later, man, yeah. She ain't going to the draft because of NIL. Bro, what? Like, and these dudes getting 8 million. So yes, I'm going to be tough on fellow media people and people in general and hold them to a standard of just knowing basic things, especially when you're getting paid millions for it, bro. So yes, with Kim Mulkey getting paid $3.5 million, if I am a 5-star recruit, top 5 recruit, Aaliyah Del Rosario, I am choosing Kim Mulkey to learn from the best and to play for a Hall of Fame coach and to get better and to take me from being promising 5-star high school recruit, national recruit, to the WNBA. That's it. Along the way, if we win championships, great, good. But ultimately, I want you to craft me and push me into the player that they told me I was in high school. When I talked to Flau'jae in high school, and I asked her why she chose LSU, she said, obviously, you know, playing for a Hall of Fame coach. I want to play for a Hall of Fame coach. And she really believed in my music vision and things of that sort. And I feel like it was just a perfect marriage. She's really going to push the right buttons. And, you know, Angel Reese was talking about how Kim Mulkey pushes the right buttons. So push the right buttons on the players that need to be developed. And it's the same thing. It's not just on Kim Mulkey. South Carolina as well. You know what I'm saying? Don is not innocent. And salute to Dawn Staley, amazing Black woman and just figure in the world of women's sports and female athletics and things of that sort, dating all the way back to her playing days. At the same time, Sakima Walker, right? Sakima Walker, the big that transfers in, doesn't play at all and hits the transfer portal right after that. All she did was make a bunch of cool TikToks and social media content. I saw her at a game with Sanaya Rivers last year in Atlanta at an Atlanta Dream game. And I was like, it looks like Sakima, but like she never played with Sanaya at South Carolina. I don't know why my thinking was just like she'll just be with her teammates. But yeah, I don't know. You just got to look at things like that. Like why is with the conversation of Lay, if we want to talk about it, Lay Butter and things of that sort. Like why wasn't Lay still starting? And it was like, well, Lay has to. She knows the work she has to put in and the things she has to do to get on the court. Defensive reads and you know, just kind of general IQ things and knowing when to do a no-look pass and when to just do a regular pass, knowing when to do a jelly lay and when to just do a regular lay. All of those things play a part into it. But we saw the same player from freshman year that we did this past season. And so Don kept her on the bench where she was, you know, freshman year. And now she's in the portal. So it's like, I don't know, bro. There's a couple of them coaches that you look at, you like, at UConn, if you like that, you want to get in. There ain't too many people that transfer from UConn. You know what I'm saying? And you see people, when they play at UConn, they become better players. Like, at least their IQ is up because Gino put them in that system and he get them right. So, I mean, it just is what it is, bro. Or at least that's the pattern that goes on. You can say that isn't, but it's at least the pattern that we see. So, yeah. All right, cool. Next topic.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.